Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation on ecosystem dynamics. Today we're going to explore how organisms interact and what drives the balance of life on Earth. Let's start with the basics of energy flows and the trophic pyramid. Energy in an ecosystem flows directly from the sun, which is captured by plants and algae. The trophic pyramid is a model that illustrates how this energy moves through different feeding levels. At the base are the producers, or autotrophs, followed by primary consumers, herbivores, secondary consumers, carnivores, and finally, apex predators at the top. Every organism in this period has a specific role. Habitat, actual physical place where an organism lives. Niche, an organism's specific job or role in the ecosystem, how it survives, what it eats, and how it interacts with the environment. Tolerance, the ability of an organism to survive within a range of environmental conditions like temperature or salinity. Keystone species, an organism that has an unusually large effect on its ecosystem relative to its population size. If you remove the whole system, collapse.
What are food webs?
First, what's the difference between a food chain and a food web? A food chain is a simple linear path showing exactly who eats what. A food web consists of many interconnected food chains showing the complex network of feeding relationships in a single ecosystem. The structure of these webs dictate how energy moves. In a bottom-up controlled ecosystem, the population at the bottom of the food web, the producers, dictate the abundance of higher trophic levels. If you have a drought and the plants die, the whole chain starves. In a top-down controlled ecosystem, the apex predators control the population below them. If you remove the top predators, the primary consumers overpopulate, which can completely wipe out the producers. Now let's look at two specific examples. Interaction 1, producer to consumer. In a savanna ecosystem, an acacia tree acts as the producer, using sunlight to make food. The giraffe serves as the primary consumer, getting his energy by eating the leaves off the acacia trees. Interaction 2, consumer to apex predator. In the same ecosystem, a lion acts as the apex predator, getting its energy by hunting and consuming primary and secondary consumers, like zebras. The zebra, in this case, acts as the prey, the consumer.
What are ecosystem relationships and symbiosis?
Beyond just eating each other, organisms engage in a variety of complex relationships. Symbiosis is a close, long-term interaction between two species. Here are the 5 main types of ecological interactions. Predation. One organism predator kills and eats another, the prey. Number 2, competition. Both species require the same limited resource, and both are harmed by the interaction because they fight for it. Number 3, commensalism. One species benefits while the other one is neither helped nor harmed. Examples are barnacles riding on a whale. Number 4, mutualism. Both species benefit from the relationship. Example, bees and flowers. Number 5, parasitism. One organism, a parasite, benefits at the expense of the host organism. Example, ticks on a dog. For our research, let's compare 2 different interactions, mutualism and competition. While mutualism brings 2 species together to support each other's survival and reproductive success, like the clownfish and the sea anemone, competition pushes species apart. In competition, 2 organisms vie for the same exact resources, like space, food, or sunlight. While mutualism builds a community, competition limits the species' actual physical distribution and population size. So what is competition and the barnacle simulation?
Let's dive deeper into competition. Every organism has its fundamental niche. The entire range of conditions and resources of species could potentially occupy without any interference from other species. However, due to competition, species are forced into a realized niche, the actual narrower set of conditions they end up occupying. To understand this, we can look at the classic virtual simulation of internal entitled barnacles. Titanonis and Chitalamus. Chitalamus is a small barnacle that lives high up in the interxylem time zone. It has high tolerance for dissection, drying out. Bilamus is the larger barnacle that lives lower down on the rock. It grows faster and it's a stronger competitor. In the simulation, we can observe these species in two scenarios. Without competition, if you remove Bilamus from the rock, the Chitalamus population spreads and grows all the way down to the low tide zone. Similarly, without Chitalamus, Bilamus populations naturally expand if they are forced to deal with dry air at low tide. With competition, when both species are present, Bilamus outcompetes Chitalamus in the lower and middle intertidal zones by growing faster and smothering them. As a result, Chitalamus is forced entirely out of its realized niche in the upper harsher zones of the rock. The Bilamus population dominates the lower zones.
In conclusion, ecosystem dynamics are dictated by a delicate balance of ecological factors and organism relationships. Density-dependent factors like predation, disease, and competition change based on the size of population, while density-independent factors like natural diseases or climate affect populations regardless of size. This intricate balance was perfectly demonstrated in our class's Aleutian Islands case study. When sea otters, a keystone species, were hunted, sea urchin populations exploded. The unchecked urchins overgrazed the kelp forest, causing the entire ecosystem structure to collapse. It proves that every relationship, from tiny barnacles competing on a rock to massive apex predators, dictates the health of an entire ecosystem. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation. Every organism, from the beginning,
No. So what are food webs? Oh man, what are food webs? yeah, dude, I can't.
Golly.
So I forgot the lines.